It's all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. What up?
Hi, Slump6s. My name is Angel Marie from All of the Above podcast based in Philly. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. So I wanted to know, what steps did you take to get to this point in your career?
Well, for me, I really just had to, from a young age, 13, 14, I really just had to understand the internet, and understanding the internet and understanding how it works and how to use it to push your career is definitely something that'll take your career of a long way. And I feel like when I was first starting, I was definitely making it a big thing to network myself with the right people. And social media networking is just like a huge thing, especially when you're first starting out, because if you're not doing that, then you're more than likely doing what every other rapper is doing, and just rapping and posting it and hoping that it sparks one day. And at the end of the day, like, there's only so many people that can really take off like that. So as far as like the steps I took, it really was just a big boatload of social media networking, being in group chats, making sure that my name is always like heard and around and seen.
I love that. I love that you mentioned social media, because that actually segues right into my next question, because social platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, they've proved how branding can boost a creative's career. So
Yeah.
how would you describe your brand?
I definitely feel like I don't know. In my career so far, I feel like I haven't really branded myself as far as like put a image to myself, but I definitely feel like people know me for me, and that's the one thing that I can say is true to the name Slump6s, is that people like know that like I'm just myself. So it's not really too much of a hassle or too much of a struggle to keep the brand or the image, because at the end of the day, it's just myself. It's just how I am throughout the day, 24/7. So
Yes, it's very important to stay true to yourself, especially because with music trends constantly evolving and changing, how do you plan to maintain relevance with your fans and the music industry? Because you want to stay true to yourself. So what steps do you take to keep that relevancy, but staying within your own lane?
I mean, like, I feel like the same goes for young artists in general. Like, the whole new like wave and sound is like ridiculously young. Like, everybody's like 16, 17. There's 15. Like, it blows your mind at how young some of these kids could be. And so I feel like with that, it's gonna be hard for kids to not keep relevancy, because of the fact that they're essentially growing with their fans. They're like, every new step that these artists are taking in life, their fans more than likely are not too far from taking those same steps. And so like it, as far for me, and I know this goes for a lot of different artists that are around my age in the same scene as me, I feel like it's not that hard to, keep relevancy, because at the end of the day, it's just being so young and doing music is what's going to keep people interested, because it's like they want to understand how somebody so young could be doing stuff like this.
Mhm.
And yeah, a lot of people feel like that is it's hard to keep relevancy as a young kid, because a lot of people feel like you have to portray yourself as something in order to keep people's attention, in order to keep people interested. But I don't know, a lot of people in the new wave, it's not really much you have to do. You don't really have to fake anything. You just have to be you.
Exactly. And you've been dropping gems and kind of giving hints for kids and the youth today. So what are the biggest life lessons that you have learned thus far in your career, and how have you applied them to your everyday life as a music artist?
I mean, it's so much I could say as far as like music applying to life. Like once you step foot into the music industry, it'll teach you a lot of things that you'll never think you'll have to learn, just because the way people operate it's a really risky game. But you know, when you surround yourself with good people, when you make sure that at the end of the day you have good people to keep a good head on your shoulders, to lead you in the right direction, I feel like that 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 will essentially save you at the end of the day, because you can get lost so fast in the music industry. And I feel like that's the biggest takeaway that I have from like being in music and starting from such a young age, is making sure that you like surround yourself with the best people possible, make sure that you have a good team around you, so you're just always on the right direction, because it's so easy to get off track with a whole bunch of different stuff.
Hey, I could dig it. And my very last question ties all of this together, that gets back into your music. What kind of message do you like to relay through your music? And what do you hope your audience gets out of it when they hear Slump6s songs?
The main thing, and I've started to talk about this a little bit more, is that I want people to feel like they can't, I want people to take away from my music that there's nobody that can tell you that you can't do something. Like that's the biggest thing, that nobody can tell you that you can't do something. If you want to do something, you can do it. You just got to try. You just got to put your mind to it. And that's really like, it's a cliche thing, but you'll really tap into it when you log in and put your mind 100% to something that you want to do. And then when you get to that point that you finally achieve that goal, or you finally are able to say, yes, this is what I've always wanted to do, then people are going to realize like that really does apply, because that's a big thing. You really could do. It's so many possibilities, so many.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Yes, man. You too.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel, Marie, and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding. Way we pull it together, we applying my pressure. I am your new professor.